Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. This is a story that's been unfolding quickly and with a lot of excitement around the Bills fan base. It's not every day that you see a team make a move that could potentially shake up the entire division and recalibrate their offensive weaponry in such a strategic way. The Bills, sitting at 5-3 with a cap space of around $2. $5 million have just finalized a trade that has a lot of fans buzzing. They've traded for Brian Thomas Jr., the explosive rookie wide receiver from the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that's been struggling a bit this season at 2-6, but has some interesting pieces and a lot of cap room to work with. This trade was made through a conditional third-round pick in the 2026 draft, which is a smart move by the Bills, showing their confidence in Thomas and their intent to add youthful, dynamic talent to their receiving core. It's important to understand the context of this move. Jacksonville, after extending their quarterback Trevor Lawrence with a hefty $50 million contract, has seen their defense falter, giving up an average of 28 points per game after the extension. They've also been freeing up cap space, about $5 million, by releasing some players, in particular on the offensive line, in an effort to rebuild their roster. Meanwhile, the Bills have been managing their cap well, mitigating the absences of players like Palmer and dealing with rumors about Stefon Diggs' future, all while preparing for a playoff push. This trade for Thomas Jr. is a clear indication that Buffalo is looking to inject more speed and explosiveness into their offense, especially given the recent performances and the injuries that have challenged them. Now, Brian Thomas Jr. is a rookie, but don't let that fool you. This guy is a game changer when he's healthy and on the field. In 2025, he caught 25 passes for 412 yards and scored 3 touchdowns. That's an average of 16. 5 yards per reception and his PFF grade of 85. 2 shows how highly he's regarded in terms of route running, separation, and overall efficiency. Over his college career, he's accumulated 114 receptions for 647 yards and 11 touchdowns, averaging 4 yards per catch, with a YAC yards after catch of 6.2 yards per reception. His drop rate is only 2%, which highlights his reliability and his separation metrics. Around 3.5 yards show that he's good at creating space against defenders. What makes Thomas Jr. so intriguing for the Bills is his speed. Running a 4.33 40-yard dash, his vertical speed surpasses that of Shakir, who runs a 4.45. This alone projects an increase of about 16% in deep ball plays, something the Bills certainly need to stretch defenses and open up the field. The team's offensive coordinator and quarterback Josh Allen will be able to utilize this speed to create more explosive plays, especially downfield. And if we look at the Jaguars, despite their struggles, they see a lot of potential in Thomas Jr., making this a strategic move for them as well, perhaps to free up cap space for future extensions like that of Evan Engram, who's earning around $12 million a year, and to bolster their rebuild. In terms of injuries, Thomas Jr. had a clean slate in 2025, playing all 8 games, which is a promising sign of durability. The Jaguars, meanwhile, are sitting at odds of +12000 to win Super Bowl LXI, which reflects some skepticism about their rebuild under head coach Doug Peterson. But they're still trying to make the most of their assets, including adding about $13 million in cap space for extensions, trying to build around their young core. The Bills, by acquiring Thomas Jr., are adding a player who can complement their existing weapons like Shakir and Palmer, creating a trio that could combine for over 800 yards this season. That's a significant boost, especially considering how this trio can elevate the team's EPA per pass attempt from around 0.18 to closer to 0.21 or 0.22, considering Allen's stellar rating of 92.1. This move is more than just adding a rookie receiver. It's about reshaping the Bills' offensive identity with Thomas Jr. The Bills can expect more big plays, especially on third down, where they've improved their conversion rate from 42% to over 55% this season. His YAC explosion, averaging over 6 yards per reception, will help the Bills sustain drives and keep defenses on their heels. The addition of a deep threat who can stretch the field will also open up running lanes for James Cook, who's averaging 4.3 yards per carry and has already gained over 620 yards this season. Against teams like the Dolphins, Buffalo's offense could exploit lighter boxes and create mismatches, making their offense one of the most dangerous in the league. Defensively, the Bills have been solid, with Coach McDermott's unit ranking in the top 10 for sacks. Gaining a few extra possessions per game, about 3 more than their opponents, can be the difference in close games. Turning the ball over more frequently, with about 4 additional turnovers this season, puts the Bills in a position to capitalize and create scoring opportunities. All of this is happening amid a season where the Bills are fighting to stay atop the AFC East, a division that's been fiercely competitive this year. The Dolphins, sitting at 3-5 but with a high-powered offense led by Tyreek Hill, are still a threat, but Buffalo's move to bring in Thomas Jr. signals their intent to not just compete but to dominate. Looking at the bigger picture, the Bills' current Super Bowl odds have shifted from around plus 1,200 to plus 600, reflecting the optimism around their upgraded offense. With the deep speed and playmaking ability Thomas Jr. brings, combined with their existing core, they've become a team nobody wants to face in the playoffs. The AFC is loaded with talented teams, but Buffalo's combination of veteran experience, strategic roster moves, and now this explosive rookie makes them a real contender. The AFC playoff picture is shaping up to be a battle of attrition, but the Bills are positioning themselves as a team that can outlast and outplay their rivals. And let's not forget, we're talking about a team that's been to the playoffs multiple times recently, with aspirations of returning to the Super Bowl stage. The addition of Thomas Jr. is reminiscent of past pivotal trades like the Metcalf deal with the Seahawks in 2025, which significantly boosted their offensive ranking and deepened their threat level. Buffalo's front office clearly sees this as a move that can elevate their game to the next level, especially in high-pressure playoff scenarios. The AFC East, once seen as a 2-horse race between the Bills and Dolphins, now looks even more intense with these strategic moves and the potential for explosive plays. As we look ahead, the Bills are definitely a team to keep an eye on. Their offensive weapons are becoming more diverse and dangerous, and with Allen's ability to extend plays and make throws on the run, they're building a high-octane attack that can compete with anyone. The defense remains stout, and with a few more turnovers and possessions gained, they could be favored to make a deep playoff run. The AFC's playoff landscape is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and the Bills, with their new weapon in Brian Thomas Jr., are positioning themselves to be a major factor in that story. The optimism around their Super Bowl chances is palpable now, especially with their odds improving and their offense getting a significant boost. But of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL. They'll need to stay healthy, keep their chemistry tight, and continue to execute at a high level. The division race will be fierce, with the Dolphins and Jets also fighting hard, but Buffalo's focus remains on maximizing their newfound talent and pushing for a title. The AFC East, once dominated by the Patriots and Bills in previous decades, is now a battleground of explosive offenses and strategic defenses, and the Bills want to be right at the top when the dust settles. So fans, this trade for Brian Thomas Jr. isn't just a minor move, it's a statement. It's about the Bills saying they're all in, looking to leverage youth, speed, and playmaking ability to finally bring home that elusive Super Bowl ring. The road ahead is still long and filled with challenges, but this move definitely signals that Buffalo's front office believes they have the pieces to make a serious run. They're assembling a team that can not only compete but dominate when it counts the most. And as always, we'll be here to keep you updated, analyze every move, and celebrate every big play. The Bills are gearing up for a pivotal stretch, and this move might just be the catalyst that propels them to the next level. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Finally, as we wrap up this deep dive into the Bills' latest move, it's clear that the team is making a statement about their ambitions. They're not content with just being playoff contenders. They want to be Super Bowl champions. The addition of Brian Thomas Jr. adds that extra element of speed and explosiveness that could be the missing piece in their offensive puzzle. The AFC East is more competitive than ever, But Buffalo's strategy shows they're ready to take on anyone, to outpace and outsmart their rivals. The fans, the city, everyone should be excited about what's coming next. The future looks bright, and the Bills are positioning themselves for a run that could define their franchise for years to come. So stay tuned, keep supporting your team, and get ready for what promises to be an electrifying second half of the season. We're all in this together, and I can't wait to see how this story unfolds.